you were involved in Ops Dalat?
Yes. They came out of a movie recently. If you know what I mean, Lahad Datu. Recently, there was a movie shown in the cinemas. Yeah, Ops Lahad Datu, Ops Dowlat. Ops Dowlat happened in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. 13, 2013. Yeah, we just celebrated 11 years. So this happened in Lahad Datu. Basically, there was some incursion by some pirates from Philippines, and they were occupying a certain part of Felda Sahabat, 18, which is a oil palm plantation. It became a national crisis, and that was my first experience of what emergency felt like, what quarantine felt like way before the pandemic, where they actually quarantined a large tract of this space. And they had a small clinical theater in there, which was like a small longhouse made of wood. And due to the quarantine, that had to be immediately transformed into a hospital because no patients could leave that quarantine area. That was the risk, right? So all the boundaries were painted with red paint on the trees, on the roads, etc. So the people of there was a whole community of people, basically people of Pelda Sabat, in that area, which could not leave that area. So that clinical theater had to be overnight transformed into a hospital, which means ventilators, infusion pumps, huge. So that involved, so I volunteered. So JK and Sabah sent out a notice asking for doctors to volunteer to be on site, right, ground zero, to provide this care. And I was the first to volunteer myself and said, yes, I would like to go. Much to my mom and my dad's disappointment because they were saying, it's already bad enough you have to go all the way to Sabah. And now, in a crisis like this, why do you have to go? I said, well, for me, it was all about experience. I said in the beginning, when else will I get such an experience? And there's nothing unsafe about it because, as we all know, in any war or in any space, the hospitals are the most safeguarded place. We were armed with army and police and helicopters, doing medivacs, being escorted by police and ambulance. It was amazing. The experience was fantastic. So yeah, I was there for about 2 weeks. We slept in sleeping bags. We took turns, two doctors and three, four staff. We took turns. We stayed. We showered in small bathrooms, really, really bad ones. But yeah, we were there for 2 weeks, and at the tail end of it, thank God everything went well. Well, went well in a sense. They were all killed in the end, and I was called to go and visual actually open those bags and body bags and see those maggot invested bodies of those pirates that were killed. Yeah, it was a really eye-opening experience. I was exposed to post-trauma stress disorder first time, PTSD, talking to soldiers who went through sheer trauma, having to, I mean, you can elaborate more on those stories, but it was exciting stories, dealing with pirates, black magic, and whatever not. And just understanding the stress the army officer actually goes through. It also gave me the opportunity to see how actually very well equipped our armies are with the machineries that they have. Yep, and that was the opening gate for me to meet our then minister, Dato Sri Dr. Sudran, our former DG, Tan Sri Hisham, and the then Deputy G, the late Dr. Jindran. That, of course, it eventually led to my next journey in my career. If I were to explore that now, if I should elaborate on that, that was exciting. And at that time, that gave me my first experience of networking to the higher echelons of Ministry of Health.
During an incursion.
Well, actually, it was after the incursion. They come always after everything is done. And we met and we engaged and we went for a function where we were all honored with a medal. And yeah, and that's when I got my first experience meeting Dato Sri that time, Hisham, and the late Dr. Jendran. Yeah, and a year later, of course, it came into fruition when I was transferred back to Putrajaya.
So for those of you who don't know what Ops Dalat is, it's a 2013 Lahad Datu standoff. It was a military conflict in Lahad Datu, Malaysia, and it ended with the standoff ended with 72 people left dead, including 56 militant, 10 Malaysian security force personnel, and 6 civilian. The surviving militants were all captured or escaped. So, Ramon, did you suffered any PTSD from this?
Well, someone said I did, so hence I got 2 weeks off from work. But I don't think I did. I don't think I had any post trauma because for me it was all exciting because I was still safe. But it was for me it was just eye opening. I was just completely blown away by the entire experience. Seeing those 16 millimeter bullets, those shells, hundreds of those shells on the ground, they actually could level down acres and acres of Klapasawit trees. They could actually saw down trees. Just that whole experience for me was entirely exciting. Being in a helicopter, medevac, adrenaline junkie, I think I am. I was at least with my younger days, but yeah, it was good. There was some form of trauma, I think, in a sense that now that you just read back all that 72 dead bodies, yeah, memories of that, opening those dead bodies, stench, maggots. Yeah, but I think as being a doctor, I never took that as a bad thing. I always kind of, it was part and parcel of the job.
Could you hear the shootings from inside the clinic?
We were 1 kilometer away from actual ground zero, which is not very far. The clinic is here then. So what happened was the siren was when they decided to attack, and so the two fighter jets came from KK, and so they sound the siren for 15 minutes, and then the fighter jets came in and bombed the place. So it was like watching you know, Middle East war on TV, but just live. Just and we could hear the ground was shaking and the shooting was going on. And yeah, it was very audible, very audible.
Was there any point you thought that maybe this is the end for me?
Well, I think in the beginning itself, when I volunteered for it, that thought did cross my mind. But at that time, not being married and coming out and doing that, I think there was not much. I did have that thought, but again, I said, hey, if it has to happen, it has to happen. But let's go. You won't know till you go. Yeah, I guess I didn't give too much of thought to it, but it did cross my mind.
And
Join disruptive doctors.